Welcome, everybody, to the Absolute Advantage After Show, where we dig into some insights from our podcast episode we just did. And we had an amazing guest. She's so funny. So it was really, really funny.
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. Her name is Tevis Trower, and she is the founder and CEO of Balance Integration. And she's just a firecracker, great sense of humor, and a ton to bring to the equation as far as creating, winning corporate cultures and employee engagement. So we had a really interesting conversation. And what were kind of some of your takeaways? Because there was a lot packed in there.
There was a ton packed in there. And I think for me, a lot of what I pulled out of it was just the component of kind of trust and living into truly who we are, and really just being real. And so we talked about the imposter syndrome, again, the trust piece, but so the stuff that I really took away from it was a lot of the different points and concepts that she spoke to related to that piece, because it's something that I know to be true. And I think personally we get in our own way so many times. And so a lot of the things that she was saying, I was like, I can identify with that. But we really truly are doing ourselves a disservice, I think, as leaders, specific to building that trust and really being authentic, in who we are and getting away from who we really think in our mind we're supposed to be.
Yeah. No, and I think, it was interesting, and I was just trying to find in my notes here about she went and spoke at a conference, and she was talking about that the thing that employees are looking for most is that true leader who shows up authentically, who is really truly a civic leader, who is human, who is copping to being human, who's owning kind of whatever mistakes, or if they want work-life balance, they're talking about it openly. These aren't corporate crafted, emails, and where you're really letting the employees in to see who you are. Yeah. And,
how do you trust somebody who you don't really even know who they are? Yeah,
exactly.
It's a great point that she was making.
And what I thought was interesting too, so we're in 2019 when we're taping this. So we're in a very divisive time from a political standpoint, from a trust standpoint within corporations where they're doing things they shouldn't be doing. And that what I found fascinating was that people trust their employer more than they do the government, politicians, these people that are supposed to be leading us. Right. They trust their employers and their workplace more than that. So she was talking about that this is a serious responsibility, and we need to look at it this way. That people are coming to the workplace almost as a sanctuary.
Right, exactly.
And so to take that responsibility seriously and that trust seriously. So I thought that was interesting I was like, wow, that's
to put it on that level.
Yeah. It was like, okay. So that takes it up. That ups the ante.
Right. Exactly. No pressure. No pressure here.
Totally.
She spoke about high performers and how fixated we are on the idea of losing.
Yes.
So not just the aspiration for, achieving or being better. It's, it's not having a status or not getting the approval that we seek, or, just the fear associated with losing versus turning that focus around on, the things that are important.
Right.
So that was, I thought that was interesting. But again, it's something that if you really put some thought into it, it makes a lot of sense.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Common sense, not common practice. I mean, we know these things, right? But to what degree are we implementing these things? And it was funny when I asked her about, because she was talking a lot about that we're addicted to that discontent. So again, that kind of dichotomy between aspiring to, aspiration and aspiring against.
Right.
And that we're addicted to that discontent or the habit of discontent. And because we're prioritizing what we long for or what we don't long for.
Right.
And that what we need is that heart connection. And when I asked her, I said, so how do we start to get that back? Yeah. And she said, listen, There are strategies. There's all of that stuff is out there. I mean, there's meditation. There's all these things that you've heard us talk about before on this show. But to what degree are you doing those things? So there's plenty of stuff out there.
We're talking about it, just not doing anything about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was funny and interesting and so true.
Yeah. I think I loved, she said, that people want clarity, reliability. You've got my back ability at work, and and that this is everybody's responsibility as a leader, and not just human resources, because I think that that's kind of the go-to fallback. HR will take care of it, but really as a leader, it's everybody's responsibility. So I really loved that.
There was lots of good stuff. We ended with a question, as we always do, where we talk about, what is that question you ask yourself as a leader? And I love her story, so you'll have to listen to it about this particular leader that she had back early on in her career. And it was around the idea of being bold. And she said, and it was, what would you do if you were being bold, or if you were being more bold? What would you do as a leader if you were being bold? And so I thought, interesting, that's a powerful question.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah,
I love that. We had some technical difficulties here on my end of the recording, so I think I actually even missed that piece. And one that I heard was, what is my greatest good?
Yes.
In this moment, what is my greatest good? And I thought that was beautiful too.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
much good stuff.
Really, a lot of good stuff. A really funny conversation. There's several Games of Thrones reference, so if you're a fan, check it out.
So good. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. We hope you'll go watch the complete podcast episode at Absolute Advantage Podcast, and then you can always find us at our website at absoluteadvantageleadership.com. We've got some great downloads available there, and opportunities if you're interested in coaching or other services that we offer. Come check us out, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.